Fathers of Nations. Welcome to Fathers of Nations. Our story unfolds with Dr. Aola B., a gentleman of exceptional understanding and considerable sway. Abruptly summoned to head to the political heart of the nation, Washington, D.C., to deliver a stirring keynote address at a prestigious event organized by the Foundation for Democratic Rule. This respected organization, a beacon of democratic values worldwide, is renowned for its commitment to uphold the ideals of democracy and liberty. Dr. Aola B., a scholar and political analyst par excellence, is recognized for his insightful ideas, making him the ideal choice to grace the occasion. Yet, he doesn't venture on this momentous journey alone. By his is his charming wife, Pamela. Hailing from the historically rich city of Boston, Pamela's roots are deeply embedded in the cultural mosaic of her hometown. This trip provides Pamela with a cherished opportunity to return to her native land and reconnect with her aging father who, now a widower, resides in solitude, with only his echoing memories for company. This visit to Boston ushers a of nostalgia for Pamela as she reminisces about her childhood, and it's also surprisingly meaningful for Dr. Aola B. The memorable encounter with Pamela's father leaves a lasting impression on him, embodied in a unique memento, a watch. This isn't an ordinary timepiece, it's a multifunctional gadget, brimming with hidden features. The memory of this visit lingers in the form of this watch, a multifunctional gadget that reminds Aola B. of Pamela's father. While in the captivating city of Boston, Aola B. makes a seemingly mundane purchase of an ordinary item, a razor. The unfolding story takes place in the labyrinth of city streets where colonial-era buildings stand tall, whispering tales of the past. As the sun dips behind these antiquated structures, casting long, intriguing shadows that dance on the cobblestones, Aola B. enters a nondescript store. Inside, amidst a clutter of everyday items, a simple razor catches Aola B.'s eye. It is an item as common as any other you might find in such a store. But the razor, a seemingly insignificant artifact of daily life, is chosen and purchased. It exchanges hands, leaving the world of commodities on the shelf and entering the personal realm of Aola B. Our protagonist carries it through the bustling streets of Boston, past the Freedom Trail and the Old North Church, as everyday life carries on around him. Yet, the razor, so simple in its purpose, is destined to play a role that transcends the ordinary, hinting at a narrative that's yet to unfold. With time, we'll take a closer look at the significance of this purchase. We'll delve into the labyrinth of plot twists that the narrative holds, and we'll explore how the ordinary can sometimes mask the extraordinary. And as we progress through the story, we'll discover that even the most ordinary moments can have extraordinary implications. The narrative takes a fateful turn on an airplane journey back to Nigeria. A chance encounter happens between Aola B. and Tad Longway, the dynamic director of special projects at an influential organization, the Agency for Governance and Development in Africa. They find common ground in their shared flight, and soon, their interaction transforms into a thought-provoking conversation about Africa's contemporary situation. Longway, with his vast experience and deep knowledge of Africa's affairs, is genuinely taken in by Aola B.'s insightful analysis and razor-sharp perspective on the continent's current challenges. His distinctive viewpoint and intellectual brilliance pique Longway's interest. This leads to an unexpected proposition. An adventure unlike other is proposed by Longway, intended to counter the rampant corruption and deep-rooted impunity that have long been a blight on Africa's promise. It's a daring proposition, filled with risks and challenges, but also ripe with the potential for significant transformation. Intrigued by the potential impact of this bold venture, Aola B. agrees to partake. Now, Aola B. finds himself at a crucial juncture, a turning point in his career, and perhaps in the future of governance. He reveals to his longtime associate Longway that he has received an invitation of high prestige to act as a counselor at an important summit. This is not an ordinary gathering, but a summit of African heads of state, where crucial decisions are made and the future of the continent is shaped. This summit's topic of discussion revolves around Way Omega, a unique and novel approach to governance. Way Omega is a top-down approach, where decisions trickle down from the upper echelons of power. This model has its merits, but it also has Aola B. Being a well-respected figure, his opinion and guidance are highly sought by these state heads for Way Omega. But Longway, ever the free thinker, has a different perspective on this, an intriguing alternative: Path Alpha. Path Alpha is a stark contrast to Way Omega. Instead of a top-down decision-making process, Path Alpha proposes a bottom-up approach. It is propelled by the people's desire for change, their hopes and aspirations for a better tomorrow. It seeks to harness this innate desire and use it as a force to drive progress. It is a model that places the people at the heart of every decision, every policy, every reform. Longway, with a passion that is infectious, beseeches Aola B to consider this alternative, not just consider but embrace it, advocate it, and to mentor 4 Path Alpha voyagers at Back in Nigeria, a mystery unfolds. Aola B and Pamela, a local couple, had entrusted their home's upkeep to a faithful houseboy during their recent extended trip. On their return, the houseboy, with a significant amount of trepidation, relayed an intriguing narrative to them. It so happened that during their time away, their home had been graced by a completely unexpected visitor. This individual, a traveler undoubtedly, sought shelter and had been permitted to reside temporarily, out of compassion and the traditional Nigerian hospitality. The stranger's stay was over by the time they returned, but he'd left an indelible impression on the houseboy, who couldn't shake off the profound sense of familiarity that the stranger emanated. Eventually, the stranger's identity was unveiled, and Pamela found herself in a state of utter disbelief. The stranger was not just anyone, he was intricately woven into the fabric of their life, especially Aola B's. To Pamela's shock, the stranger and Aola B were seen sharing an intimate bond of familiarity, conversing in their native tongue, Yoruba. Fathers of Nations weaves a tale of power, politics, and personal relationships, inviting us to question the status quo. It tells a story that is as much about human nature, ambition, and the fight for survival as it is about the machinations of politics and power. It delves deep into the intricacies of governance, exploring the pros and cons of top-down and bottom-up approaches. It gives us a peek into the minds of those in power, their triumphs and their trials, their defeats and their victories. The narrative explores the power dynamics and political maneuvering that takes place behind closed doors. It offers us a glimpse into the lives of the leaders, their personal struggles, their ambitions, and their dreams. It shows us the side of them that we don't often see, the human side that is influenced by emotions, relationships, and personal experiences. It exposes the gray areas, the tough decisions, the compromises, and the sacrifices that come with power. It immerses us in a world where the lines between right and wrong are blurred, where ethics and morals are constantly put to the test. It invites us to question, to think, to reflect. It pushes us to look beyond the surface, to delve deeper, to understand better. It is a narrative that is as much about the individual as it is about the collective, as much about the microcosm as it is about the macrocosm. It pries open the door to a new perspective, a different way of thinking, a paradigm shift that has the potential to change the course of history. It inspires us, challenges us, moves us, and it reminds us that, in the grand scheme of things, even the seemingly insignificant moments can shape the destiny of nations.